attentive crew. iPets, having fun with you. You can be our friends, the fun will never end. Teaching you to draw and paint. Learning step by step with simple shapes and styles. Sharing out adventures and happy smiles. Climb aboard and let's get started. Art pets, we are the art pets.
Welcome to part 1 of how to paint a cute puppy. In this case, buttons. We've already done out a drawing and I hope yours worked out as well as mine. But even more importantly, that you had lots of fun. Today I'm going to do my wash and I'm going to show you how to be a little bit more playful with your wash, and I explain that as we get started. So, let's get started. Yay! Now, as I said, I'm going to do something a little bit different with the wash here on buttons today, and I'll explain that to you now in one moment. Firstly, we have, as per usual, our jar of water. You can't see it, but it's here. There's my lovely orange jar of water that I actually have sitting. I have my brushes here on my right hand side. I have my drawing, and as you can see, as I've done before, I like to keep the nice drawings I do, the finished drawings, and so I've done another sketch out of buttons for the purposes of painting, and I'm doing it on a piece of card which is a little bit heavier than paper, so you could try doing yours on card if you wanted to. I have, of course, a photograph of buttons, and I have my Stay Wet palette, which again is a simple plate with a couple of pieces of kitchen parchment on the surface which I've wet, and then I've put my baking parchment in on top of that. And it's not kitchen parchment, it's kitchen paper, kitchen roll that's underneath there. And as I said, we have our burnt sienna and our cobalt blue, and as you can see, I am using the same palette that Captain Puppy Fluff used when he was painting Fluffy, because recycling is so important to us. We like to make sure that we reuse as much as possible everything and waste nothing. And so I've simply just turned the palette, I cleaned all the excess paint off it, and I've turned it over, and so it's still perfect to use, and I'll use that many times before we have to finish with it. Now, I'm going to take my big brush here, and I'm going to take some water with just my cobalt blue, and as before, a wash is just a very thin layer of colour over the surface. You can have what's known as a separated colour wash, where we would use the basic greens and the basic tones on buttons, which in this case you can see has a soft sort of greyish blue colour, or you can use what's known as a single or monotone wash, which is what I'm going to do today. So I'm taking my cobalt blue and I'm simply going to paint it over the surface of my drawing. Now, my pencil drawing is done in a 2B pencil, so thankfully it's not too soft, and so it won't spread once I have the paint coming on the surface of it. What you've got to be careful of is never to do your finished drawing out in a heavy pencil like a 6B or 7B, because the moment your paint touches that, it's going to spread the pencil and your drawing could easily get lost, and that would be very, very frustrating if you spent ages doing a beautiful drawing only to have it disappear the moment you start introducing your colour. Now you can see, because I am painting on card, it's very absorbent, and so the water within my acrylic wash is absorbed almost immediately, and it dries out the brush really, really quickly, so I've got to just keep going back over it. Now I am using a single blue wash today, and the reason I'm using a single blue wash is just for a little bit of playfulness and a little bit of experimentation. So rather than using a standard sort of earthy wash such as yellow ochre or brown or the greens that we see here, I'm going to use blue just to be a little bit more playful in my colouring, and I'm going to let some of that blue show through as we paint, to create a little bit more playfulness and a little bit more drama. And so it's a very easy way of creating a little bit more drama or a little bit more experimentation or playfulness in, as I said, your paintings, by using a different colour wash on the underside. So it could be red, it could be orange, in this case it's blue. And part of the reason I'm using blue is if you look closely at buttons, you can see that there's a slight touch of bluish grey. And the reason for that is this photograph was obviously taken on a very sunny day. Even though it's in shade, you can see the sunlight in the grass behind us here and in the bushes behind there, and the beautiful sunlight on the top of buttons here on the head and also on the body. And so one would assume, based on that, that there's probably some amount of blue sky above that we cannot see. But even though we cannot see it, it's still reflected into all of the colours on the ground. So when you're painting anything that's outdoors, landscapes or people outdoors or buildings, if you have a blue sky, it must reflect into everything on the ground. You cannot have a big strong colour like a blue sky and not have it reflecting. So it always get a little bit of blue. And so this is why we're seeing traces of blue in Butts, and particularly because his coat is very light in colour. And so the lighter the colour, the more easily it is for the colour light blue to reflect through that. So put that in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just rinse off my big brush, and as before, remember what I said, don't dunk your brush into the water, very gently swirl it so that you're not damaging the hairs on your brush. And I have some kitchen parchment or kitchen paper here which I'm using to dry out my brush. Just there, you can see it here. I'll put that back there for the moment, and now I'm going to go to my medium sized brush, and what I'm going to do is take this one here, and I'm going to mix some burnt sienna with my cobalt blue. I'm going to use that to create a slightly darker colour, and we're going to use that to start putting in some of the general shadows that we see on Buttons and perhaps in the background. So I'm just going to come in and onto the eyes. I'm just going to block in a little bit of that onto each eye, and as you can see, the eye as we look at it on the right is slightly smaller. Of course, through the nose. So what I want to do is try and create a little bit of three-dimensionality and structure, total structure, by putting in little bits of this around the mouth. A little bit of softness, nothing too harsh. The shadows just to the side of the ears. This helps us to see just a little bit more shape and form. Just picking up on these dark areas there, around the shape of the face. Then over on the other side, just again down around between the ear and the side of the head. And I'm just marking in the very darker areas first. Just there. You can see there's a lot of darkness just here underneath the tummy. Just blocking in that. Just there. And I'm being a little bit textural. That is, I'm using the brush with a certain degree of freedom because I want to try and pick up on the feeling of the unevenness. I'm not being too neat and tidy in my application. I'm certainly not going in nice neat lines, and when you're doing yours you certainly don't have to either. And a little bit on this side of the leg here. Now I'm going to thin that colour a little. I'm going to add a little bit more water, make it slightly thinner, which makes it slightly lighter, and I'm going to use that just to soften up some of the other colours and put in some of the sort of mid-range colours rather than anything too heavy-handed. Now these might appear to be too dark for some of the shadow spaces that I have, but I will be coming back over these with heavier acrylic. As you know, acrylic is a water base and it dries very quickly, but it's also very opaque, which means you cannot see through it easily, especially when you use white. White is the most opaque colour you have on your palette when it comes to acrylics, and so you can use white to kill off any other colour or to cover any other colour depending on what you're trying to do. And I'm just blocking in some of those shadowy areas. And once again, my intention is to make sure that I leave little pieces of this colour showing through, and I'm adding in my more realistic colours to add a little bit more playfulness. Just underneath the nose I have that, and you can see because the burnt sienna is a red brown, because of the blue underneath and the transparency of the burnt colour, the burnt sienna coming through, it almost has a slightly violet colouring. Almost looks quite violet, and that's fine, that's lovely and warm, and I'm very pleased with that. Now, it must be said, and I've said it before, and I know I repeat myself a lot, but a lot of what we do comes from the mistakes that we make, or not even quite mistakes, but we set out to do one thing, but what it turns out is quite different. There's nothing wrong with that. It's important to stop every now and then and just check and make sure you're happy with the way things are going. Even though they might be different, being different is not wrong, it's just different, and sometimes can be better than you had hoped for or had intended. So never be afraid of things taking a slightly different turn. It's there, and the shadow just between the hip and the belly or the tummy. Just there, to that space. Down to the back of the tail. A little soft shadow in here. Just tapping in. I love playing with colour. It's one of my favourite things to do. Particularly different colours, and I love to experiment. That is, try out a colour, see if it works, and if it works, brilliant, but if it doesn't, very easily overpaint it. And again, that's what I like about the acrylics. I said they're opaque, so it's very easy to put in a colour, decide you don't like it, and take it out, change it. So part of our learning comes from experimentation, comes from playing, and not being afraid to take chances with our paintings. And with acrylic, what I find is there's nothing that can go wrong that cannot be fixed. So never be afraid to try something a bit different. Slightly darker into those shadowy areas there. Just a little. I'll strengthen those much more when I'm using the final acrylics on this, when we're doing the second and the third stage to finish off the painting. Now I'm going to just touch up a little here, and on the underside of buttons with the shadow on the graph, I'm going to just put in little bits of this for that. Vertical strokes, slightly turning left and slightly turning right, just to get that blockiness and that feeling of grassiness underneath there. Over to here. You can see there's some shadow here in the bushes in the background, so I'm going to just block those in as well. Now, oftentimes the brush is the easiest part of your painting because it's very straightforward. And just while I'm dabbing this in, might be a nice time to tell you another few things about puppies. Would you like to hear a few more things about puppies? Okay. Their teeth grow when chewing, and this is why they like to chew on lots of things as puppies. Oops. Mind your slippers. They are mammals, which means that they have fur or hair, breathe air, and drink mother's milk. They also have a backbone. Did you enjoy that? There's a lot about puppies there that I didn't know, so perhaps you didn't know them too. They're very interesting, aren't they? Puppies and dogs. Especially their hearing and their smell is so acute. Just breaking in, creating one or two little bits and pieces. Now it seems quite soft now, but when I start bringing in my medium tones, you'll start to see an awful lot more definition. No. And I think that's pretty much it for the wash stage of what we have here. I don't think we need to add any more. So if you like the blue, by all means try the blue, but at the same time, as I said, don't be afraid to try out your own colour. Or perhaps you could do two and do one colour in blue, another one in red, but whatever. Never be afraid to experiment. And even if you did put down one colour and you said, no, I don't like that, would you think you can go back over it? Absolutely, very easily. Okay, try this, see how you get on. Hopefully you do well. And I will see you in part 2, where we will start to layer up our colours, our lights and our darks. In the meantime, have lots of fun, enjoy doing your wash, play, and I'll see you soon. Bye.